All right,
Good
good
morning.
morning.
Good morning, everybody.
We're doing another meeting of chaos, a meeting where we're building chaos. And of course, we're not building it yet because right now we're just building the team. We're still missing some very crucial people. We should probably have that list ready to like just post as a banner. I don't know. But anyway, if you're interested in chaos and you might want to help, go to our I don't know. How about this? Email Brian. You can find his email by going to. Oh, this doesn't
yeah,
even
we
say our website on here. Hold on.
we should have my email on the website.
If not, I can make sure it's on there. I'll make sure it's on there.
chaosnow.com. Yeah, well, on this channel, Brian's email is on there, so they can get it just from this channel.
Okay.
Email Brian and ask to get in one of these meetings, and we can talk about how you can contribute. And so, do you guys want to start meeting minutes or start?
Yeah, we might as well start. Yes.
Brian, have you worked on anything like the?
No,
I see the
I haven't done
smile.
any, I haven't done
Okay.
anything really.
All right.
None of the things we talked about. As far as that Christian Reeves show that I'm supposed to, you were saying I should get permission from him to post the last. I'm doing the next one on that with him on Saturday, so we're just going to wait till then, and I'll talk to him when we do a podcast. I'm going to be doing another podcast on this coming Saturday with Christian Reeves. And so I'll ask him whether or not we can post. We'll see whichever one we. I'll ask him for permission to post both of them, the last podcast and this one, and we can do whatever we want from there. So anyway, that'll be taken care of by next meeting for sure. I sent you an email this morning, Rami. I imagine you probably saw
what is that?
There's a couple things I wanted you to put up there. So there were just some photos of that I took, screenshots of the website. So I went to the website just to see what our website was looking like. And first of all, right off the bat, I don't see our logo. What's that logo that's up there?
Which image are we talking about?
This one you got right there, the first one.
No, that's called the favorite icon. I haven't got it downsized for the favorite icon yet. I've been focusing on the main process. I still got to get that set up. I've been working on it. I'm just trying to downsize it so it'll work. It also has to be in a different format from what it currently is in.
So this is just something that randomly came up, or you made up just quickly, or
that one there is provided by the website software.
I wonder how they come up with that. Anyway,
that's actually a symbol for Joomla.
Okay, and I don't see the logo anywhere on the website itself, right?
It is on the website. If you use the PC, it shows up. For some reason, I don't know why it does not show up on mobile. I'm looking into that, trying to figure out why it's doing that. I've got a request into the forums for the Joomla software to see what I can do to resolve that. Have not received a response yet. So this is something that nobody of, and I did, and
Okay. So all right, I was just curious what was going on, why I wasn't there. Also, so I'm just going to point out a couple of things. Is the next image on there? Can you show the next image, Roman?
All right, let me try.
All right. No, actually, the next one. We'll come to this one after. This is has to do with that guy we were talking to on the internet there.
Remove. Hold on.
Yeah. So on the about here, That sounds like the way it's worded. It sounds like the KAOS system is what you're describing here, when this is actually just describing the website in our small group, which I can't, is not the actual KAOS system. So it says here, KAOS is a political group of individuals with the same mindset that believe in free speech. Well, that's describing us. The three of us.
That's what the about page is. Well, that's what the about page for KAOS is, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. But you're starting here. It says KAOS is. It should be the KAOS website is, or because eventually we're going to build the KAOS system, right? And this sounds like we're describing the KAOS system. You know what I'm getting at? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see what you're getting at.
Yeah. So to me, when I read that makes me think that this website is the KAOS system. So I think we need to just add in there something like this KAOS website is the preliminary website for the eventual KAOS system, and then so this website consists of an apolitical group of individuals. Something along that line, just to help describe that this is not the actual KAOS system that we're going to build.
Okay.
So I just want to make a note of that.
Wow, it's even at 191 hits.
Yeah, it's kind of surprised to see that. Yeah.
We're getting traffic on the site. There's no denying that. I'm averaging about 150 hits a day on the site.
Huh. I wonder what's driving people to it. I don't know what we're doing that would make anybody come there. I've only pointed it out to a couple of people so far.
I made the post in Lemmy.
Okay. All right. Well, that must be driving it then, yeah.
Uh-huh. Ever since that, it has spiked.
Okay. So, and then the last thing, go ahead.
Edward, did I email you those video links?
I got the one. Actually, if you look on, yeah, that's what it's called. On the front page, I've got Ernst and Brian's podcast up.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm currently, I got stuck. Oops, sorry. I got stuck on another project real quick that I had to take care of, which will go hand in hand with KAOS. I built my own AI bot this week.
Oh.
I'm trying to understand. So this video, you just slapped it on the end of the essay?
I got it. That's the only way it's going to happen, because I've got that set up as a static homepage. So you're going to have it set up that way.
Perhaps we can set up a separate page for videos, because we'll probably have more videos here.
I am going to be setting up a separate page for a gallery of all our videos, so people can see them all. But my main goal on the front page, and I am working on that code right now because I couldn't get it figured out real quick, is I'm going to have a rotating carousel of them on the front page, where it's going to throw videos at 3 at a time. It'll have the 3 latest videos.
Okay.
And then as the new one's up, it gets replaced and replaces the end one.
Nice.
But it keeps the main videos over on the gallery itself.
Okay. That sounds good. And I thank you for the work that you do for us. And I don't want to pressure you or anything. There's no schedule that this has to be done right away. You got things you got to do. You take care of those things and get to it when you can. So the last thing I wanted to mention about the website, though, is I don't see the introduction anywhere, the introduction essay. And I think that should be the first thing people see before the how it works. So you've got the how it works there, but the introduction to I had done a separate essay as an introduction, and I couldn't find it anywhere on the website.
Give me just a second. Let me see. Let me pull it up here. Whoops. How about if I go home? Boom. All right.
Oh, yeah, I see the KAOS logo there. I don't get that on my phone.
Yeah. I don't know why. I'll have to look into that. I think it has something to deal with the way the banner's set up. I'll have to look into it. You got to remember, when it comes to web design, for me, having to deal with the mobile aspect is actually fairly new, because most people I deal with are PC users.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, we've had 985 hits on that front page.
Yeah.
I'm confused what you're saying, Brian, because I remember you telling me that this essay is actually both essays.
Yeah. See, I took this right off the Reddit site.
I don't see it, the introduction in this at all.
Took this right off of the Reddit introduction page. The Reddit, the introduction you set up.
I don't
on
see
Reddit.
where it starts talking about.
Unless I accidentally grabbed the wrong one.
Yeah,
which is possible.
Yeah, to me, this is the how it works essay. That's everything that to me that's how.
Okay, well, I can change that out today.
Yeah, I mean, I still want that on there too, but I'd like the introduction first. I think the introduction is kind of important to be first, and to kind of explain why we're building the whole KAOS system and how it should affect things.
Okay.
So the title is accurate, but it only starts with the second half.
Like I said, I pulled from what was on the Reddit. Directly off.
Am I understanding correctly, though? The title is accurate, but it's starting from the middle of the essay.
Is it? No, well, it's starting from the second essay, basically.
That's what I mean.
There's two posts on Reddit, right? There's the introduction and then how it works. So they should run in continuation.
So I'm gonna go look at it.
After the other.
I'm gonna go look. I'm looking at it now.
Okay.
Let's see how far I gotta go down to find it.
I thought you posted. I thought they were pinned. Aren't they pinned up at the top?
Both of them?
Yeah. I thought you had pinned both.
Yeah, see, I went with the How the KAOS Institution Works rough draft number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, and it doesn't have the title.
It does not have. It has the title.
There's no title here.
You know how the KAOS Institution works.
Well, I mean, it's different than this title.
What do you mean it's different than this title?
This says what is
KAOS and how it works. Yeah, that's been changed since I pulled it.
Just says how the KAOS Institution works. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, see, I got down here right below the KAOS, right below that separation line.
Yeah.
And then here's the first one. And the idea was this one essay is really both essays. That makes it really long. Well, this is kind of short. I don't know.
Well, it is really long. I mean, the how it works is very, very long to begin with. And then when you add the other part on.
Oh, see, that's what caught me off guard was the title on this one. I wasn't looking for that title.
I mean, this title might need to be worked on because it's really a full fucking sentence. And in general, I don't think we should have full sentences as titles, unless it's like 3-word sentence.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of liked it myself, but I can understand that it is pretty long. It kind of gives you an idea.
That's more of kind of
what we're talking about. It's more
that's more kind of a summary statement or description. Yeah.
I mean, this could be good as the thing that goes right under the title.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the title should. Yeah. Okay. And the title then should just be the introduction, and then that under.
This is the title. What do you mean by the introduction is the title?
Introduction to the KAOS. Well, the introduction is what I call that essay. And then.
Okay.
Because to me, that's what people.
What I can do.
It's an introduction to the concept of the KAOS system, and then the second whole thing is how it works, right?
What I can do is I can put all of that under there, leave the title as it is, and just start off with your description and go down from there on the essay itself.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's that introduction essay. That's not in the website at all right now, right? I guess. Yeah. Okay.
No.
So that should be the first
matter of
thing you
fact,
see.
my next step, because I thought I had this the right one. My next step is to get your Substacks pulled over.
Get my
Get your
Substack. What?
Get your Substack articles regarding chaos, the 2 that I read, anyway. That
But
you
that's what
direct
these
me to.
They're exactly the same thing as what's on the website,
Okay.
on the subreddit. There's no
Okay.
difference, I don't think.
Okay.
There is some other stuff that I've had earlier, but that's content we
Mhm.
don't really want. I don't think we want any
Okay.
of that content.
All right.
So yeah, I would just stick to what you're seeing on the subreddit for now. So, and I haven't done anything new on the Substack at all. So.
Right.
Okay, so I think that takes care of what I wanted to say about the website. Anybody else have anything they want to talk about on the website? That pretty much cover it.
Not that I can think of. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm still working on the video thing. I'm working on, it's going to continuously be what's the word I'm looking for? The process of expanding as the institution itself expands. So, I mean, the websites are going to be fluid along with the institution itself, which is what we want. That way we never have outdated information. 20 years down the line, someone looks up our website, if it still exists, and they're seeing something we did now, and they're like, that was cheesy.
So can I say something about this part?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the right, I think this needs to be a call to action rather than just about. If people want to see that about, I think that should be up here.
That side on the that part on the side is not my design. I don't know how that happened. I'm thinking that's dealing with the latest posts.
Yeah.
And that was the last one I did for the.
Well, I wonder if we
page
can make it
itself.
static and we select it rather than it be a variable.
Yes, I can do that. I can do that. And that's what I originally had it set up. If you go down to the bottom of the page, you'll see it.
One other thing that I noticed also, you're right over here on the right that says the main menu. And there's when I'm used to using websites, I don't know if this shows it here. When I'm on my phone, this is the only way I access websites. But there's always this icon at the top, and you click that, and that's usually a menu. You know what I'm saying? There's usually
the
this
hamburger.
it looks like 3 layers or something, right?
Right.
And I think 3 or 4 layers kind of looks like they're bars or something. Anyway,
yeah, it's called a hamburger icon.
Okay, when you click that, that's a different menu, and it should be the same menu. That should be the main menu, shouldn't it?
That is what's programmed by Joomla. I have no control over that.
Because usually that's your main
rewriting
menu.
the intake.
Yeah.
You got to remember, when it comes to this software, it's mainly design. Its primary design is regarding blogging.
Okay.
I wonder
its
if we
primary
chose
design
the
is
wrong
like
software then.
WordPress blog. Well, any of them we go with, they're all designed that way.
Then we're going out
unless
with the
you
wrong
want to
group.
pay for them.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, yeah. Well, maybe
I mean, I can get it all changed. I can come up with totally different.
So there's no good
templates I
free
could
software
use.
for this, huh?
Pardon me?
So there's no good free software for this?
It's all free software, but people get paid for their designs. They make the design templates and they expect to be paid for them. These are professional web designers.
Oh, so there are design templates that you can use with Joomla, but you got to pay for it, and it's better than this.
There are some free, but majority of them you got to pay for. And if you get down to the specifics like that, you end up paying. The more specific you get, the more pay you want.
Well, you'll have to advise us on that, and if there's a cost, I mean, as long as it's not a mega tons of money.
I'm sure it'll be cheap.
Oh no, usually they're around $15 to $30, depends on the template.
Well, that's not like an annual fee, right?
Yeah.
No, that's one-time fee.
Yeah, so it's cheap. So I think we should change it. It needs to look more like.
Well, if it helps you at all, Edward, yeah, we should go ahead with something like
it
that.
needs to do stuff. So here's my page. It needs to do
Mhm.
what all new websites do, which is stuff like this. This is what Brian was explaining.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
then
hamburger bar, the hamburger
Yeah.
menu.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how it
And,
needs to be. And then, stuff like mine isn't this way now, but it used to be a video that would play, like right here.
Mm-hmm.
And what else do I have in here?
Scroll to the bottom. Yeah, see, that's through GoDaddy. That is their own software.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So I can't just utilize that. I can work on getting a similar design though.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it is you got to make sure it works with the Joomla backend, with the database and everything on the back side.
And that means you're not building or creating your own, what they call a theme. You're just buying an existing theme or picking a free one. And the theme controls a lot of these things, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, of course, we're not asking you to program a theme. Just find one that's good, even if we have to pay for it, that does this. Because this whole concept, where did I? Let me go back. Like it like it should be like right here, that little menu button, and this shouldn't be here because that's the style of 20 years ago websites. And
You got to remember too, this is their basic entry level.
Yeah. And Joomla
This is when
started
it
20
comes
years
with
ago.
the software.
So that's why it
Exactly.
would make sense that it looks like 20 years ago. But I'm guessing
Exactly.
there's new shit. And like new shit don't even have a right pane like this. All this doesn't exist on the new websites. It's just one, I don't have a right pane.
Well, it also depends. It's like, give me just a second here. What I'm doing is I'm going to to give you an idea of the professional site. Okay, there we go. There's a good one there. Okay. To give you an example here. Yeah, have a second here if I can get this to zoom in. There we go. How about if I get to the right link?
What you've been watching?
Oh no, I have the website up. I have StreamYard up. I have Joomla up. I have my
that
AI
music
up.
will tell that music in your head. I'm wondering what you're watching.
That's from years ago when my kids were little. It really was. I hit the wrong button. There we go. Share screen. No, not that one. Yeah, allow. There it is. That's the right one. No, that's not the right one. Don't open that one. It's the same one you got up.
I thought he was exasperated. Like, oh, don't put that on the screen. That was accidental porn.
No, don't have that issue. Give me just a second. Crikeys. I hate this software sometimes.
Which one?
The StreamYard. Yeah. I'm just trying. There we go.
StreamYard's pretty good. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with any others, but it seems pretty good.
Yeah. Where the heck? It's not giving me an option to share.
You want to send me the link in the private chat?
Yeah. Oh, we have 3 people. No, that's us. Never mind. Yeah, give me just a second here. I'm seeing numbers and getting excited.
Yeah.
We got 3 people watching.
Oh shit! I was thinking I said watching.
I had worse
It's
than
gonna be
that.
one of those
time,
days
one time I was
today.
doing a live stream with someone, and we're like 20 minutes in, and I'm looking at the top left. I'm like, what's that saying? Oh shit, we didn't go
Yeah.
live yet.
You got to remember, I woke up at 7:45 this morning, so I was rushing to get on here in time. And the dog runs me. It's like I'm flustered.
Well, I actually haven't been to bed. Well, I went to bed. I did not sleep at all last night. I've been up all night. I was telling Rami before we went live there, before you came on. But,
Live demo?
I had a rough night.
Here, let me bring up the live. Well, I guess
Live
you can bring it
demo.
up too on yours. Yeah.
So this is an example
This
of
is
a Joomla,
this is an example of a Joomla theme that is currently being used.
and this looks like new age awesome websites. Yes, although
And see, it's still got the right
it's
stuff
a lot
on the
like
side
the
there.
way YouTube is. Ours will be very different, obviously, but this is very
Right.
complex. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets very complex, and that's why I rely on somebody else's work for
Yeah,
my
obviously.
themes,
You're gonna use
because
a pre-made theme. Yes.
if I go in to do it, it's going to take me months to get
See if
all
you
the
can find
complexity
a theme
figured
that
out.
just says we're trying to be like GoDaddy.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll look through them. I'll send you some links of options. Send you both some links of options to go through, and then we can discuss. We can pick our top choices, like top 2 choices, and then we can discuss it on the meeting and present them and why we think these would be best for KAOS.
Okay.
Give us all some input on it, because one of the things I key on with my freelance, the customer gets what the customer wants. So in this case, you see a way you're wanting it done, I'm going to listen to how you guys want it done, because I don't see how I can't vision it the way you vision it.
Oh yeah.
So I just asked Google what Joomla themes and extensions pretty much work like the GoDaddy website builder, and it gave 4 of them.
Helix Ultima.
You want me to email you this?
Yeah.
Or maybe there's just this link.
Yeah, just the link. You can send that in private chat if you want.
Okay.
I'll open up in a new theme. Wow, that's a big link. Mine was so simple.
The whole search phrase is in the link. Yeah. That's how Google
Okay,
does
there
it.
we go.
What's this? Standalone page builder extensions. What's that mean? Standalone?
That's for
without
that
Joomla.
would be, yeah. That would actually be a case of, no, they go for Joomla, but what it is it allows the person that's running the page, or the administrator or moderator, if you will, to be able to drag and drop things into place on the website, and it's going to stick.
What makes it standalone?
Because it's not part of Joomla itself. It's actually a separate program.
Okay, so it doesn't use Joomla.
Separate program. Right.
Right. So this is saying, instead of your idea of using Joomla, you could do this. Yeah, but I say, yeah, we stick to Joomla and pick a theme.
Yeah.
Oh, considerations for choosing.
Uh-huh.
Pricing obviously is in there. Learning curve. We want low learning curve. I don't care too much about functionality. Like, we're not a very fancy website like the one you just showed us. This is extremely sophisticated, doing a billion things website.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing like 2 things.
And these are actual websites as well.
Yeah, this is very complex.
There's people that are actually
and I bet. Actually, here, let's just look at pricing. Is there a pricing button? Was it?
I don't know.
Pricing.
Yeah.
$300 for that. That's cheap for that sophisticated ass thing. I bet you the one,
and that's only for a year. That's per year. That's per year. And look what the price usually is. $909 or $699 is what the usual price.
I mean, that could just be lying marketing,
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, it could. There's no
Yeah,
way in
but the
hell
point is
anyone
$300
start
a
paying
year.
$900.
$300 a year, and we're looking for maybe $50 once.
Yeah.
Actually, I could ask what the prices are on those, but anyway.
Well, what,
All right,
like I said, we'll go through. We'll get some choices made, and obviously, most of them will have the prices available if they're a paid-for product. And then we can discuss that. This probably is going to be about their average price for some of these.
for the really complex
For
ones,
the themes.
GoDaddy Website Builder is the most simple fucking thing on the internet. Simple meaning it can't do a lot.
Exactly.
Not just simple like it's easy to use. It's also easy to use, but it really almost does nothing. The most basic website. And I think that's going to be cheap. But I don't know. I don't have any experience with Joomla. We got anything else to talk about?
Well, besides this is all about the website. You want to move on to other things? I'd like to talk about that guy that we're talking.
This is something we talked about last time. I glanced at it. Did you look at it, Brian? Edward emailed it to us.
Yeah, and it seemed to me that there wasn't anything in there that I was concerned about. I mean, the terms of service, that's on the website, right? That I see that when I go on
and that's
the website.
only for the website.
Yeah,
that is to protect us through the website.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't see any real problem with it. It's all fine.
Me too. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
mean, that was.
And that just comes up when somebody. Well, yeah, people see that mostly when they go to interact, like in the comment section or something, right? Yeah.
Right.
So
They're
fine.
not.
Yeah.
It's not thrown in their face the moment they log on to the page.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. So, yeah, that's all.
I am working on setting up a link where after they join the page, it's going to request to have, how some of them have, you've read the terms of service.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be at the bottom of that page, and there's going to be the link for it. So they have to stroll through it in order to even be able to click on the link and for it to accept that they read it.
Yeah.
And I'm also planning on putting a little bit of a timer system on it. So it takes a specific amount of time before that I read it is available.
Okay.
Probably like 4 or 5 seconds.
No, I don't know if that's necessary, but if you think so, that's fine with me.
Next point. 2 small things from last time. Edward, you said you'd update our social media with the new KAOS description.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that yet.
Okay.
I have not gotten to that yet.
Cool. And then Substack. Oh, Brian, did you update your Substack?
No, I haven't done anything to update my Substack. What
right.
was it you wanted me to do with that? Remind me again.
Have some sort of description, and the easiest thing is just pull one that we've already worked on, like in Reddit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. We're gonna know that.
Oh, I take that back. Yes, I did do the description update. I did that on the same day that we discussed it last week.
Oh, cool. Hey, how do
it just dawned on me what you're talking about there.
Yeah. How do I find, real quick, how do I find our other social media? What is it? Blue Sky? Blue Sky?
No, let me. Here, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Actually, you know what would be good is if you posted to our Reddit saying, here's our other social media accounts.
Yeah.
Then other people could see it, maybe even chime in. Then also, if I'm lost again, can't find it, I can find it again.
Yeah. It's over in the private chat.
Okay. This is how Lemmy looks?
That is how Lemmy looks. And
this is how old Reddit used to look, kind of, right?
Exactly. It's very new. I mean, we're talking It's based off of old Reddit, which is what their users wanted. Oh, we got somebody that posted something there.
What are you looking at?
The
This?
Texas floods were next. Yeah.
So click on it. Okay. And then you could reply. There's no reply.
You can reply, but you got to log in.
Oh.
You'd have to make an account and log in. But I can. I'll.
That's good. Look, call to action right there.
Mm-hmm.
These are all default things we can't change as part of their website.
Right. That's part of the website. I can't do anything about that.
Says I'm not logged in. There's the logo. It's called lemmy.zip.
That's the main instance I'm on. Yes.
That's weird.
There's
they call it .zip. Like
well, the creator, which I've made a real good friendship with, he's from England. He created this instance with the intent of it being technology.
I want to understand what you mean by this instance.
All right. Each server that has its own Lemmy software on it is called an instance. Okay, you've got Lemmy ML, you got Lemmy.world, you've got all these.
Why is there more than one? And what's the difference between them?
It's open source and it helps spread the load, so you don't have to have an individual server to your own experience.
I see. Same software, but it's open source. Could theoretically have some differences because it's open source.
But generally,
no, they're all the same.
Okay,
so they're
being
all
open
repeating,
source. The design is all the same,
and they're all repeating the same data. If they all have the same posts,
no.
No. As long as a member has joined or gone to the server or the instance, even for another group, it starts logging all the other communities.
Oh, so it is all the same data across all of them.
It is all the same data, but if you just started, you're not going to have anything but your own until somebody joins it.
I see.
This is being spread out over a bunch of servers worldwide.
So it's almost blockchainy, like kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're doing what we've been discussing about having an individual database server in each state or each region.
Yeah.
This is your process if you want to do open source.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. How do we get to the Blue Sky one?
Blue Sky is at what the hell is that called? It's Blue Sky. There we go. Let me go to Blue Sky.
I seem to have lost Edward. Did you lose him?
Oh yeah, we did
About
lose him.
that,
Oh, there he is.
I hit the wrong tab. It's bsky.app. And yeah, see, that's the thing. We've got a lot of different KAOS. I've got ours set up as KAOS now.
Okay, so how come this doesn't find it? That sucks.
I don't know. Unless they've kicked me out recently. I didn't know about it. Let me go to it real quick and find out. Give me a second. I gotta get to.
It looks exactly like Twitter.
Yeah, because it was created by the same.
So when I search inside of Blue Sky, it's very easy to find KAOS Now. But when I Googled KAOS Now and site : Blue Sky app,
Right.
whatever, it doesn't find it. That's horseshit.
That
Fuck
has
Google.
nothing to do with my control.
Oh, fuck
That's
Google.
all on. Yeah, that's all on Google on that one.
What's the other shit we should be using instead of Google? Like DuckDuckGo?
DuckDuckGo. Yeah, that's what I use personally. Is
I'm
DuckDuckGo.
gonna try DuckDuckGo and see if I
But
can find
it does get a lot of its stuff off of Google. Just so you know, it uses the Google search engine. It just doesn't have all the ads.
From what I understand, it's a totally different search engine.
Well, it used to.
So on DuckDuckGo, doing the same search, more shit pulls up though.
Yeah.
But not us. Anyway, whatever.
It may be because we're not getting enough traction from anything yet. I mean, I haven't.
Yeah.
I don't even know who, if any, people are following us.
Yeah. So this description right here, I think it just needs to be like the same one we're using everywhere else. The one that's now on the Reddit sub that I've updated like 10 times. Every time we think of something to make it better. We have 3 followers, and we're following 14 people, and we have 2 posts.
Yeah, first post was introduction of ourselves, our program, and that was before we had the actual introduction made. I was introducing the concept early on. That I think the other post, I'm trying to remember what the other post was about.
I'm trying to figure out how to even use this. So posts, it's just showing one.
Yeah.
Media is the same thing. Videos, none.
I don't have any videos posted yet. So it's just that
Where's
right
the
now.
second post? It's saying
This was actually responding to another post that was made.
Well,
this is actually from the damn it. It's one of the parts that you made in Reddit.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is the system is saying there's 2 posts, but I only see 1 post. So it's maybe hiding one of them.
It could be, and they may have removed it. I don't know.
And I can't click on it, even though I can click on these things. Here, what happens if I click here? What happens if nothing happened if I click here. Click here, it just takes us back here. So it's like 1 post is hidden.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Unless it's including the actual creation of the account as a post for some reason, and I got to change the description on this one.
Anyway. But all that discussion you were having was happening on Lemmy, not on Blue Sky, right?
Right. Yeah, it was actually happening in the new communities thread that I'm a member of, that I was trying to promote.
Which is also not on this thing. It's on somebody else's,
right?
Like subreddit, sub Lemmy.
Yeah, you'd call it a sub Lemmy. Well, actually, they're called communities. So it's a community on somebody else's server.
Snippet from today's.
Yeah, I was in. Yeah, if you click on that,
that's not a snippet.
Brings up.
That's just the whole page.
It is, huh? Oh, I know what happened. I know what happened. For some reason, my edit didn't save. I had all on. Oh no. It's supposed to be a snippet of a small segment of our last meeting. I took it right off YouTube.
But the link
That
is
says-
just our.
What the heck?
Yeah, that's the wrong link.
But that's not the link I put in.
And somebody's going in there and changing it.
They can't unless they're a moderator.
Maybe it's an AI. Smarter than you.
It's not it. We don't have AI running it.
I'm just teasing.
I know. I'll have to look into that. I'll get that link fixed. I don't know why it did that.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I think we don't have anything else. Plus, I got to go pee.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of. Can you hold for just a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Can you bring up that other image from that that I sent you? The one that in the middle there, I guess.
Yeah.
The machine optimization one, or whatever it was.
Yeah, this is a guy that I've been Rami and I have been talking to on Reddit, and holy cow, this guy can what do you call it? Wax poetically on and on and on. I found him on some subreddit. I can't remember which one it was, but something about ideas or futurology, I think it was. And so anyway, he was commenting to somebody else.
Dude, I gotta go pee right now. I'll be back.
Okay, all right.
Too bad you don't have a headset you could take with you and mute the microphone.
I don't think we want to hear it.
That's why I said mute the microphone.
Anyway, Edward, Rami already knows this guy because I had challenged him to go on the other sub that we created, Change AI's View.
Change AI. All right.
Yeah. And I had challenged him to on there, and I pointed out that we had set up the subreddit. So he went there, and then in the conversation that Rami and I had about kind of a test conversation we had about whether or not God exists, and I was taking Rami was taking the atheistic view, and I was taking the agnostic point of view. And anyway, Rami ended up winning that conversation. The AI took his side. Anyway, this guy piped in there, and he started a conversation with Rami, and trying to argue for faith to some degree, at least be agnostic, and so kind of taking my side. But he wasn't using the AI. He wasn't logging into the Chat GPT conversation and continuing it that way, like you're supposed to. So he wasn't trying to change the AI. He wasn't trying to change the AI's view. He was just trying to change Rami's view. And yeah. But anyway, his responses are like if you read a little bit of this, you can see the way the guy talks, and very 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 highbrow, very he just goes on and really says nothing, and it's really hard to actually discern what he's trying to communicate because he talks in such a riddle. There's like
circular
riddles.
Oh, riddles. Okay.
Yeah, like circular riddles. Yes.
Oh God, that even makes it harder.
Yeah. But anyway, so before that all started, so wait till Rami's back on there. Okay, you back with us, Rami?
Yeah.
So anyway, I was just telling Edward about how the conversation, how he started the conversation with you on JJI's View, and anyway, I tried to get him redirected there to actually have a conversation with ChatGPT and try to convince it, but he didn't bite at all. So anyway, but I had started a conversation with him. I found him originally on the Futurology subreddit. And I thought he sounded very smart guy, And so anyway, I asked him if he would take a look at our KAOS plan, and he looked at it, and then he made some critiques about it, which weren't actually great critiques, I thought, And I did I got back to him, but in the conversation, and he never really I critiqued his critiques, and he never touched on that subject again. But we started talking about, I was kind of inviting him to these meetings, and he once again went on about how fantastic it is to have these kinds of Sunday, what do you call them? Sunday philosophy discussions, and went on about how everybody should start having Sunday philosophy discussions, and went on and on and on. And like I said, he goes on forever. And I thought he wanted to join the meetings. So I sent him a personal message. I told him I'm going to send you a PM. So I did. I sent him a PM. And then we started, and I invited him to the meeting. And then he started going off about how he's actually wants to stay incognito, and he went on and on about he's on some time schedule that he started this. He called himself, he's just like Gandalf, and just poking in here and there, and he's not ready to reveal himself yet, and all this type of stuff, right? And anybody that refers to himself as Gandalf is a Gandalf-like character, I think, is pretty out there. But
I've used that metaphor about myself before.
You know, he can always put up a blank screen if he wants to do it. He can put up a blank screen. We could still talk to him.
Yeah, I know. Well, he doesn't want to talk at all. You know, anyway, but. So anyway, but he did. I got to him, and I tried to, like I said, I challenged him to go on the ChatGPT thing, and I think that was after that you sent this, and I just took a screenshot of this part here, because he claims he's working on something very similar to what we're working on, and he talks about in this little bit. He calls it MOM, which is let's see,
meaning optimization machine.
Yeah. Yes, and this is his claim that. This is something he's working, not just him, his group is working on, his team is working on. And he talks about how he's going to, that he needs systems like ours to help his system flourish and stuff like that. So he's encouraging me to carry on here and all this stuff, although he's not going to do anything to help us or anything like that, right? Which seems
he wants us to do the work for his process.
I don't know. But that really
That's
caught
how
me.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah. Well, that really caught
Nothing wrong
me.
with that. I'm using you guys too.
Yeah.
And the apostasy laws.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we're open source. We're not.
Yeah, but
we want the information out there.
Yeah, but he's talking about how his whole thing has got to be in secret so far and all this, and he'll be revealing it eventually, and not in here, but he talks about how eventually we will be meeting, and we will meet in person, and we'll, and although he talks about like eventually, like maybe after everything goes to hell in the world, or I don't know. Like, I'm not sure if he's talking about after death even. I can't quite make out what he's saying. Maybe in heaven he's talking about. I'm not sure. He's so fucking out there the way he describes stuff. I'm not sure exactly what he's pointing to.
By the way, we're still talking, me and him.
Yeah, I know you are. Yes.
You just sent me a comment while doing this live stream.
Yeah.
You guys want to see it?
Sure.
Okay. Sure. Put her up.
Let's see. Here it is.
Rami and I were thinking that maybe he's doing all this through an AI, like ChatGPT.
Oh, he's definitely using an AI.
Yeah, you must.
I can tell because in one of his comments, there's quotes around front and end, and that only happens when you copy paste from somewhere. Quotes are there. You accidentally forget to remove the quotes.
Okay.
He did that. Anyway, let's see.
Yeah,
here's the last.
Refers to
here's the last
brother.
thing that was said.
Yeah.
He said this nonsense paragraph. Philosophy itself, though, is already a holy act. If by holy we mean the endless devotion to seek, to question, to stand before the universe, unflinching, and ask, what does it mean to be alive? That, brother, is no less pilgrimage than any priest's. And I said, what does any of that have to do with God? Because he's saying this is about God.
Yeah.
And he used the word holy. So let's read what he says. Brother Rami, do you guys want to read this? Or do you want me to skim or what?
I'm reading it.
Placeholder for ignorance. So he's just saying, I'm sorry to interrupt real quick.
Yeah.
So you're just saying, hold on. God damn it! What the fuck's happening?
Well, you're doing better than me if you can decipher.
Sorry, what?
You're doing better than me if you can decipher what he's saying.
So you're just using the word God to mean truth. That's all he's doing here.
Yeah. Okay.
Seeking God means seeking truth. That's what he means. And by the way, I've known this for a long time. If you take just about any sentence with the word God in it, you can replace that word with one of two other words, and the sentence will make sense even if you're an atheist. They use the word God to mean universe, or to mean truth, or to mean some third thing, and that one's harder to deal with. But most sentences with the word God in it, you can replace it with truth or universe, and it's fine. But they're using the word God wrong. It's just universe or truth.
Yeah.
And in this case, he's doing it. He's saying, when I talk about God, I mean, opposite of ignorance.
Yeah.
That is really confusing to read.
Isn't it? Yeah. Isn't it confusing stuff? Yeah, the way he's writing.
He's using AI to make it sound cool and flashy. And
well, to me, I thought it reminds me of Eric Weinstein, where he talks, and it's like in riddles. Everything's a riddle to some degree. Nothing's straightforward.
He wants to make you think.
Well, he's also cheating. I can show you where he's cheating. Like, earlier in the discussion, Reddit is really hard to move around when you're looking for these kind of things. Because even if you click the previous comment, it doesn't take you there. It takes you somewhere else first.
Yeah.
And this is in our Change AI?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go take a look at it.
Oh, I want to see those other things that you said you just... Brian, you said you talked to him, but where exactly?
That was on personal message. And that's why I can't copy paste from personal message. It won't allow me to do that. So that's why I had to take a screenshot. The only way I could do it. Yeah. So I'm getting all this on personal message. We started a conversation because I invited him to the meeting. So I wanted to get his email after the email. And that's where he started going off about how I'm like a shadow and all this type of stuff. And I can't reveal myself yet and all this, eh?
Yeah, that's got a real big Illuminati kind of backing behind it on the thought process.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's possible it's not even a human getting AI help. It could be just an AI.
I was kind of wondering that myself. Yeah. What do they call it? An agent? They call it an agent. Don't they call it an agent? Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly. I found it interesting, though, that he wants to mimic, like as soon as I introduced him to the KAOS system, he'd right away, I'm working on something like that, right? So, and then I actually put his comments into ChatGPT, right? And I wanted to see what it said, whether or not it could help me identify him. And it said it was either somebody, it wasn't saying it was this person, but it said it's somebody like, I don't know if you know who these people are, but let me see, what was his name? Daniel Schmachtenberger was the first choice, and the other one was Jordan Hall. I don't know. You guys know who Jordan Hall is, or Daniel Schmachtenberger?
No, I don't. I've never heard of him.
Jordan Hall. You ever heard of the show or podcast called Decoding the Gurus?
Yes.
They've
spoken
watched
about, but I've heard of it.
Yeah. They've I catch it every time, and they've talked about Jordan Hall quite a bit. They did a short one on Daniel Schmachtenberger, and I actually like Daniel Schmachtenberger. He's an interesting character. He knows people like Eric Weinstein and his brother Brett Weinstein, and he knows a lot of characters like this in more of a conservative realm. And he's an interesting character because it's almost like he's trying to sell the idea of socialism or communism even to conservatives. He never says that, but what he talks about has a lot of similarities to actual communism. But he makes a really interesting point, and this is and he is correct in a lot of what he says. I think so, but he doesn't. He describes the problems in the world. He doesn't really give solutions, and he does.
Right.
I think he does a really good job of describing those problems, and a couple of aspects that he does. This is kind of a sidebar, really, compared to what we're talking about, but. A couple of things that he says that I find are very intelligent thoughts are that he talks about game A and game B. And game A is what we're doing now, right? Which is capitalism and every man's for himself, right? But he recognizes that if everybody was more cooperative, what he says, his terminology that he uses is rivalry, anti-rivalry. Right now, we're in a rivalry society, and everybody's against one another, and it's you're working against one another, and it's I gotta do better than you, and putting you down makes me get higher, kind of thing.
Right.
That's the system we're in. That's capitalism in its core, right? So anyway, he talks about if everybody could drop the rivalry. And we treated everybody like family, right? Which is very communist type of talk. If everybody was considered like family, like in the ideal family, you don't have rivalry against your siblings. Obviously, there is in most families, but ideally, you would be no rivalry, and sisters would help one another as best they can, and everybody can prosper better if everybody's just helping one another, right? So anyway, he calls that game B. So there's game A with rivalry. Game B would be try to eliminate rivalry, right?
Brett, everybody says the same thing you just said about game A, game B. By the way,
who does?
Brett Weinstein.
And he gets this from Daniel Schmachtenberger. That's where he gets that from. Daniel came up with this stuff first because they're friends. They know one another. Anyway, Daniel, so he talks about how everybody's playing game A, and if I want to play game B or you want to play game B, we get taken advantage of by the game A players. So in other words, if even a small group of us try to do game B, we get overpowered by the game A players, and we cannot prosper because we're making ourselves vulnerable. We're making ourselves vulnerable
by not screwing everyone around us.
By not competing. So in other words, you see what he's saying is everybody has to change the game B all at once, or it just can't work. Which is a lot like what communism says, where the whole world has to go communist, or communism doesn't work. Or the original concept of communism.
That can't happen.
It can't happen. Well, he says that he recognizes that the way we look at it now can't happen, and we have to find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, well, we have to evolve into it, and it's no different than.
I think KAOS itself and this whole project will bring more cognitive empathy, and brings us closer to game B.
Iteratively,
all together,
in an evolutionary way.
In an evolutionary way. That's why I like Daniel Schmachtenberger. Is I think KAOS is a stepping stone that can bring everybody worldwide.
He thinks there's no stepping stone,
further and further into game B. Hey.
Except he thinks there's no stepping stones, and he thinks it's one giant leap.
That's the way he describes it at this point. I would like to try to, although I think he does recognize that if there's a way to shift everybody all at once, and that's what I'm trying to do. I think that's what the project of KAOS is to a large degree. So anyway, I'd love to talk to Daniel.
So does all at once mean in the time span of a fraction of a second?
I don't know.
Of 100 years.
He doesn't even say that. He doesn't know. All he knows.
The point.
He knows is that we need to get the game B, and if we don't do that, society might collapse, right? And we got to get the game.
So another way of saying it needs to happen fast enough.
Yeah.
And it can't be too slow. And I agree with that. Like it can't take 500 years. No, we'll be dead before that.
Yeah.
It has to be something like 40 years.
Yeah. So, he does not specify a time schedule or anything like that. All he's saying is that he knows we got to get the game B, right, to have a better society. And I agree with that.
We have to convince enough people fast enough before we die.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, but before society destroys itself, you know,
That's
by
what I mean.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's what I meant. Sorry, I
yeah,
didn't mean
yeah,
individually.
yeah, yeah. You
You
sound like
die.
individually.
The whole
Before I
fucking
die,
thing
do it
blows
before
up.
I die.
Yeah.
yeah.
I meant before it all blows up and we go back to,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
before it was without power, Walking Dead days.
Yeah. Yeah. So I
Armageddon.
actually do. Yeah. So I actually do believe what he's preaching there. And so yeah, I'd love to have a conversation with Daniel Schmackenberger. I have no idea how to get a hold of him. I've tried everything I can.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about now.
He's not very well known. I don't know. He's been on Brett Weinstein's podcast and Eric Weinstein's podcast, and he's been on. Oh, he was
He's the guy
also
with the ginormous. I know that guy. I didn't know he's the one who came up
he
with this.
sells. It's funny because he under Decoding the Gurus, they talk about this, and the only aspect that makes him fall into the real guru category of like being a woohoo guru is he does sell brain supplements. He sells
Woohoo
brain
guru?
supplements. Yeah, like that's always a big thing with what they call gurus. They always seem to sell supplements. You know, even Joe Rogan sells supplements, right? You know, that seems to be a real giveaway that the guy is kind of out there when he's selling supplements. And him specifically, he sells what he calls brain supplements. So it's not just better health or anything like that. It's brain supplements. But interesting though, I've never heard him mention that on any podcast. He does not push his brain supplements anywhere when he talks. So he's not like that kind of guru where he's constantly advertising his supplements. No, you have to go look him up to find out he's selling supplements. You have to, you know, he's doing it other ways. I don't know how he even sells his supplements. He's been doing it a long time. He's been in the supplement industry a long, long time. So anyway, that's the research I've done. So it's interesting that he never talks about it. So he's not like your average guru that it sounds like they're all there just to sell supplements, you know? Mm-hmm. So anyway, so he's an interesting character that way. And he never went to regular school. He was homeschooled entirely. And he talks like he has quite a heavy degree type of an education, but technically he's only homeschooled. I don't think.
You wondered how to contact him?
Yeah.
His website has a contact form.
I don't know. Maybe I need to check that again lately. I don't think I saw a place where I think I did. I might have sent them messages there, but I never got a reply. I'm sure I probably did. You know, although I have this was earlier in this process, and I didn't have things well described at that point. I should probably try again.
So here's his website.
Mm-hmm.
Main place he shows stuff is on Facebook.
Yeah.
And there's a contact at the top right. You fill out the form. Do you remember doing this?
But I've done lots of forms like that. So anyway, I don't remember specifically, but I'm pretty sure I did send him something a long time ago. But like I said, I've got it. You know, the story. I've got everything down. I think I should try it again.
So I know about him through Facebook. Facebook must have showed me a post. I liked it. I remember seeing him often.
Yeah. He's been on some podcasts, but not that much main circuit. He was also on.
I'm following him on Facebook.
Yeah. He has a Substack, but he's never posted anything on his Substack. I tried to contact him. There's personal messaging on Substack. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's an interesting character.
I would like to have him on my podcast.
Yeah.
And let it be me, you, and him.
Well, I don't know if I don't think
similar
it's that easy to get.
What we're doing with Wissam.
Yeah. I don't think he's as easily gettable though.
No, he's a lot more.
Yeah,
he has a lot more people.
Yeah,
following him.
Yeah,
he has a lot more people talking to him. So you know.
Yeah.
But he might do it.
Yeah, you never know.
I think I'm gonna contact him.
Okay.
Since you already tried.
Yeah. So anyway, get back to the original conversation. Jordan Hall was the other one that the AI thought that this guy might be or could be like. I don't know much about Jordan Hall, but I know he's a guru from England, and I've heard some stuff about him, mostly on the Decoding the Guru podcast. He sounds much more out there. He definitely talks in a circular way, like this guy, and in a very puzzling, or what do they call it?
Circular riddles.
Yeah, riddles. Yes, circular riddles. So anyway, I don't know if it's Jordan Hall, maybe, but I don't know that much about him, and I haven't heard him say anything that really caught my attention. As not like Daniel Schmachtenberger, being kind of hitting it on the money with some things he's saying. So even on Decoding the Gurus, the only bad thing they could say about Daniel was that he sells brain supplements. That was the only bad thing they could say.
And I don't see a problem with that.
I don't either, especially when you look at the fact, he obviously, he went to school for this type of stuff. Mathematics.
Here's another way it doesn't make sense. If I have a podcast or some kind of project like he's doing, and I also have sponsors so I can make some money, that doesn't ruin the value of my work.
No, not necessarily. No.
Okay, taking it one step further and sourcing that product and selling it, that's the fucking same thing. Yeah.
No, it's not necessarily. It's just a sign. No, that's the way they look at it. It's just a thing that adds to the group of things they make that makes a person a guru, and it's not necessarily any one of those things. And
so here's the point. Their judgment is, how do I say this? If all you can say that is bad potentially is that you sold something also, then there's nothing bad here. Yeah, and maybe that's kind of the point they were making.
Yeah,
this is pretty good.
Yeah. So he seems to be a pretty decent guy. Although, like I said, most of his audience are conservatives, quite heavy, strong conservatives, which is very interesting because he's almost selling socialism. So that's an interesting twist, I find. To me, there's a lot of what he says mirrors what even right down to communism. He doesn't say a world without money eventually, or a world without property. He doesn't get there, but he's getting kind of close when he starts talking about anti-rivalry and stuff like this, right? So anyway, he's an interesting character for sure, and I would love to talk to him. And I find it interesting mostly because he bridges both sides to some degree. Most of his audience is conservatives, so he's an interesting character. And conservatives give him time. They actually listen to him, and so that's interesting on its own. So anyway, enough about him though. This guy I've been talking to, we've been talking to on Reddit. You think one thing that throws me off about whether or not he is an AI agent of some kind is if you go through his history, most of his history is people. He follows the subreddits AI prompts, and so he keeps posting the images. These are mostly for images in AI, so he's obviously paying for ChatGPT. This is ChatGPT strictly, and he's on the ChatGPT prompt subreddit, and he's posting images. Like people will go, "This is what ChatGPT." I asked ChatGPT, "Give me an image that best describes all my searches that I've done." And so he does that. So they'll post it and they'll say, "What did you get?" There'll be a post somebody makes. And he'll post, "This is what I got," and he'll show an image, and all these prompts from ChatGPT. So I can't see an AI agent that is mostly interested in ChatGPT checking to see what doing prompts for ChatGPT. That seems kind of circular. That seems like kind of a weird thing to do, isn't it? So that throws me off. That he would be, he's obviously very much into ChatGPT though. That's a big subject matter for him. That's what he's constantly. That most of his commenting is on, and And so it's mostly to do with imagery and images from these prompts. And he's following prompts that people are posting, and he's putting comments about it. And his comments are not the big, long comments we're getting. They are very short, very just going, this is what I got. Interesting, isn't it? You know? And that's about it. So, yes, I think he is using his chat GPT to answer us. But, you know, it would be odd still for ChatGPT to come out unless he's prompting it to sound pompous, and he's prompting it to sound like he's a peer to whoever he's talking to. Because, like, why else would he want to? Why would the example? That's why I gave the example I gave to you, where he's saying he's making this MOM thing, right? Would ChatGPT come up with that? To me, almost somebody has to be thinking in the realm of what we're thinking about with KAOS to even come up with that, right? So anyway, so that's kind of throwing me off. That's why I put that in there. I don't know. What do you think? You think he's actually working on something that's related to what we're doing as far as trying to get more cognitive empathy out of people and get more voices from the public? And, you know, I don't know.
Well, it's hard to sell. It's hard to tell because he's really not selling it. He's not telling us much about what the system is, what his system is, or anything like that. You can't make a actual judicial or educated decision without information. There's no information really being thrown out, which tells me this MOM or whatever it is very startup. It's still in the thought process from the way it sounds.
If it even exists.
Exactly. But, I mean, there's just nothing. But even when we were in the thought process, you had me go to the Substack. You had me trigger my thought process, and I got involved because you know what? This makes sense because you sold it to me. You know, you came off with at first, you know, we have a plan. And then I got snarky with you because I thought you were just trying to back them. And I read the. I'm curious,
what were you being snarky with?
It was funny.
Well, what it was is I don't even remember what the conversation was at the top of my head.
Well, you were
it was very
snarky,
political. Yes, it was very politically charged. And he came back with his comment, we have a plan. And it was just after I replied to someone telling them how much of an idiot they were because the way they were thinking. Well, but we have a plan. It was like first thing I get coming across as like, dude, you're backing this dude and his information is wrong. So,
I was very surprised how quickly you turned, though. First you were snarky, and then right away you went, "Okay, I'm in."
Well, because I read your overstacks or your whatever there are. I read them. I came into the Reddit, read that. I started asking questions. I came to the website or to the stream, and everything just clicked. And I'm like, you know what? I can help out with this because this is something we need.
Well, maybe you can help with something. So when you got snarky with Brian, what do you think Brian was doing that led you to be snarky with him? And can he fix that so he's not doing it with the next person?
His reply, I mean, it was just a simple reply. We have a plan. And I'm like, a plan for what? This was dealing with the taxation and all that Trump was trying to put together. You know,
so what? Did he not say enough info in that little comment?
He didn't. He just came back. We have a plan. That was it.
Okay, so maybe say a little bit more about the plan. And here's
those few words. We have a plan. I'm like, what plan? And I went off. You know, it was like, you know, give me an example of what this plan is.
Brian, how'd you turn him around? What'd you say?
Well, I just gave
he had to go read a Substack.
I had to read the introduction in the Substack.
Okay, so what I would recommend is we have a plan, and here's the link. Go read it.
And that has worked with lots of people.
Maybe he wouldn't have replied in the snarky way.
That has worked with lots of people. The only difference was with Edward was he was so snarky just beforehand, And
I was, to be honest with you, I was emotionally charged because of the comment, that I replied to. You know, I was in complete protect my ass mode.
It was more or less. Yeah, it was more or less just like
he's got the plan.
Yeah, it was more or less like, who the fuck do you think you are? You think you know, yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You don't have any information. We have a plan. Okay, what is this plan that is going to work to Trump's favor?
Yeah.
That is what it was breaking down to.
Yeah.
Because there was a
Anyway.
discussion dealing with Trump and his policies that he was trying to push through.
Yeah.
I think it was dealing with immigration or trying to push through his tax bills or something.
Yeah.
I'd have to go try and find that.
All right, guys, you guys want to end it here? Do we have any more to
Yeah,
talk about?
yeah, we'll
That's
end it
fine.
here. I just wanted to finish off though about that fellow. I might comment one or two more times with him into my PMs or personal messages or whatever. But I'm going to try to end it pretty quick because I'm wasting a lot of time with him.
I'm going to keep talking to him, and I'm not going to stop. And if it goes on 5 years, I'm okay with that. I'm very curious what's happening. Like, this is I've never seen this before. That's why I'm curious, you know. And
what I was wondering though, I wonder if he's just taking our comments and feeding it into ChatGPT and then feeding that. So what you could try to do, this would be interesting.
Maybe he's probably doing it with a prompt too.
This is what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
You could probably slip a prompt in the middle of your conversation. So without him mentioning it, so if he's not reading the entire thing before he puts it in, you can slip a prompt in there and go, you gotta
know everything I'm saying is very short, like one sentence.
Yeah,
so
I know.
I'd have to write a really long thing to slip in a prompt.
Yeah, I know you would. Yes, you would. Yes. Yes.
It would be it would be funny. It's like if you were able to slip in a prompt and he puts it in and ChatGPT comes out.
Yeah.
Well, how about giving them more information, you idiot? You know, something like that. Yeah, get it downright personal.
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways you could go with that, but I've heard that you can slip in a prompt in the conversation with somebody else's ChatGPT type of thing and get it to do things. And anyway, I just thought it'd be interesting to play with it like that. But anyway,
I might ask him, can you please stop using AI?
Yeah. See what he talks like. Yeah. But maybe it'll reveal too much.
Talking in poems. It's like he's doing this. Hey, ChatGPT, here's my reply. Now convert that to a poem.
In a way, it's really kind of turning me off in another way, because I used to have a guy. I had my own business for like 10 years in metal fabrication, and I got to know another guy that had his own fab shop, right? And this guy would talk in riddles as well, and there was never a straight answer from him. Anyway, we kind of became friends. And he would tell me things like, I would tell him about my concerns about my business, and I'm worried about going under and stuff like this. He's like, no, don't worry. Now that you and I are friends, I wouldn't let that happen, and shit like this. So I ended up.
There's a lot of people like that.
Oh yeah, and he was full of shit. He didn't really help me, and all his fucking quests, all his answers were like a riddle.
To be clear, he probably thinks he is helping.
Yeah, maybe.
He's trying to make you feel better.
Yeah, he's making me trying to. Yeah.
Hey, look.
It's all platitudes. It doesn't go anywhere.
So two kinds of people, and this is just a model, just for helpful purposes. Obviously, there's more, but there's a good way to explain that with two kinds of people. Okay.
Yeah.
What you're doing is, everything that you're saying, every complaint you're making, you're trying to figure out a solution. On the other side, what they're saying is telling you, hey, that's not really a problem. Don't worry about it. It'll resolve itself. God will take care of things, or not God, but other things, the universe, whatever the fuck. Good luck. Everything will be fine. Trust me. Yeah. In movies, you see a lot of that. You'll see like either a little kid or an adult, but usually a woman.
Yeah.
I think this is misogynistic. Where they're saying to the parent or to the husband, tell me it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then from the other side, let's say they're really a truth person. They'd rather be truthful, but now they lie. You see them pause for a moment.
Yeah.
I'm going to lie and say everything's going to be okay, even though I know it's fucking not. Or I don't know. Here's the point. I don't know. We're going to make sure we do the right things to make sure we have the best chance of the right thing happening. but it's maybe not going to happen, and we're fucked.
Well, I think you're putting far too much good in the behind this person. I don't think. I think this guy's just feeding me bullshit, and that's the way I think that other guy was too. He was just kind of feeding me bullshit. I don't even think he actually liked me to some degree in the background. He pretended to like me, pretended to help me out. And
well, I mean, the other plain thing he could be doing is, when people feed bullshit, they're just trying to get out of the discussion point they're in right now.
Yeah, well,
I thought terminating cliche.
Yeah,
you've heard of that?
Yeah, but I mean, the way this guy talks here, you can't really say that. It sounds like he's leading you into more and more conversation to some degree.
He's doing something different. He keeps acting like we're agreeing with each other when we're fucking not.
Yeah.
I'm telling him we don't agree, and he's acting like we agree.
That's a lot like chat or like AIs do what they call sycophantic or whatever. Isn't that what the term they use?
Something like that, yeah.
Where they
like that.
Yeah, they're constantly making it sound like you're so smart and you're so great and everything else, right? And feeding you platitudes, basically, right? And they're trained to do that, right? And even when they're telling you you're wrong, they're kind of saying you're so smart to think about that, and you're so wise of a person to even bring this up, and stuff like that.
And see, that's the neat part about with my AI my AI bot that I set up.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that.
Yeah. Well, you could prompt it not to, I think,
I didn't even prompt it not to. It just doesn't do it automatically.
Well, that should be the default, obviously.
But right, but you got to remember this is a new bot, so it's still going through the learning phase.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I run this thing locally on my own laptop here.
Yeah.
So and I'm actually setting up an app so that I can have a separate window for it. So while I'm on here, I can have another window open with AI on it.
Yeah.
He's been listening from last time. We talked about that last week, right?
Uh-huh.
Hey, let me ask you. What is the AI you're using?
Llama. It hooks into the ChatGPT and the Gemini API, as well as DuckDuckGo.
Which means it can use either of the AIs. So it's like a portal for you to use either.
No, it's its own AI. It scrapes its information from the 3 different sources through their API to get its answer.
And it's an app on your Windows computer, and it's installed on your computer. It is not on a server.
It is installed on my personal computer that I'm talking to you on right now.
So when you turn it off, it is
a Linux machine.
When you turn off your computer, it is off.
Yep.
What's the advantage of having it on your computer instead of using some server?
A real big advantage I'm seeing on this, number one, I don't have to pay for a server. My server is very weak. It wouldn't be able to handle an AI LLM.
I might have said the question wrong. Well, here's what I mean. I currently just use ChatGPT in a browser. Of course, all of that is on the server. None of it's on my computer.
Right.
What's the advantage of me doing what you're doing and getting something on my computer?
Oh, I see. I don't have to worry about ChatGPT or Gemini or any of those other ones coming up. You've reached your limit.
Oh.
To do more with this model, use Pro. Yes.
And that's without paying for it.
That's right.
Oh.
I don't pay a dime for it, and I can get the same results you guys could if I prompt it right. Or similar, I should say. They always change it.
This will be very easy for you to also throw it on your own server.
Mm-hmm. As long as you're running.
Dude,
yeah,
it's only one more step to hook. This is why he's doing it. Remember we talked about change AI's view doesn't work well, but it would work well if the fucking AI is directly replying inside of it. Well, this thing Edward just did is going to be able to do that. Did you say you didn't think about that?
No, I did think about that, but I haven't implemented it.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm still in the early stages of implementing this whole
Are you
program.
following this, Brian?
Yeah, are you talking about how we continue the conversation? Send you the link, you send me the link, I send you the link.
Yeah, but
we have to
skipping all that, and AI. You talk to the AI directly in Reddit.
Oh, okay.
This is a process. I'm doing this, and then my next step that I'm looking at is I want to see about integrating into the website.
Yeah.
So
Either
we'll have the servers.
Yeah, Reddit and the
website. You were talking about this before, Rami, but it was a paid service. We'd have to pay for it, wasn't it? Having it directly in the subreddit.
When we last talked about it, I think we talked about a paid service
because we saw that because we saw that other one that was commenting on that other sub, and they paid it to comment on every post.
And actually, what Edward is doing with a couple more steps, he could sell it to other people.
Yeah.
And free. He's becoming the vendor of that service.
I could do it free and have donations done. People like what they get. They're going to donate to keep it getting better.
Yeah.
I wish I spent more time playing around with stuff the way Edward is doing like this.
Yeah.
I got plenty of time. I'm disabled, so I don't work. I got to have something to take care of my days.
This is
watching
really
TV is only so long.
We appreciate the work you're doing for us, Edward.
Dude,
this is very much appreciated.
Actually,
you could sell this as a product to other subreddits,
maybe,
and like Lemmy servers, and even websites, and you could, if you wanted to, donate it free to KAOS.
Well, he could, or for the Change AI View subreddit.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Well, maybe he should do that as an experiment to see if it works, and then sell it to other ones.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still at the beginning phase, so I'm still at the beginning phase of this whole process, and I'm constantly thinking of ways like, how can I make it better? How can I profit off of it? That's why I started making the Electron app so that it can be accessed without being on your browser.
Hey, Edward, if you ever start this business and you want a employee, I'm available. I'm looking for another job.
Yeah, well, start with a test subject like Change AI's View and see how that goes, and then work from there.
Yeah, now my computer's just right for the amount of stuff I do on it. For doing like Change AI View, I would have to put that on a more powerful system than my laptop. Like I said, I'm thinking about contacting HostGator to see about setting it up on our domain, and I can temporarily I can feed that privately, not have it set up where it's you can only access it from the website. I have it set up where it allows it to get the hooks up to the API for the AI bot, and it'll start doing its stuff. But I got to see if HostGator will allow me to set that up. I'll have to see. I mean, I'll have to talk to them, and that these are all things that right now I'm just trying to work out all the bugs.
Do you think I should mention to this guy we've been talking to on Reddit? You think I should mention that we talk about him on this video? Maybe he'll want to have a look and see what we had to say about him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I might mention it to him, and I'm sure he'll be curious and have a look.
You might as well find out exactly what time it happened, and then get the time-stamped link and send him that link. So when he clicks on the link, it goes directly to when we started talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that exactly.
It's pretty easy, but I can do it for you if you want. Just
send me a link and I'll comment it to him.
No.
Yeah, see, that's
or you can comment.
So what I mean is after this is done, go to our YouTube channel, pull up the video,
find the time,
listen a little bit, and find the point where it starts. Click share. While a window will pop up, there's an option to make it time-stamped. You click it, and now the link has the timestamp in it. Okay. And then you copy the link.
I could try that.
That's what I did on that Lemmy post, and you saw how that worked out. It came up with just having our general KAOS Now.
Some glitch.
YouTube.
I don't know. That usually doesn't happen.
Yeah, and they'll work on my phone just as well.
It should.
So
I'm sure it would work on your phone. Yeah, if you pull up any video. Let's see. I should
Anyway,
have thought about the phone.
I'll try it. I'll let you know if it works. If I have problems, I'll send you a message and I'll have you help me out.
Yeah, but the main thing with my AI bot that I set up, like I told the wife yesterday, it was really a simple case. I'm dealing with this type of stuff. I might as well set it up and start using it on my own personal line. And I don't have to worry about a limit on how many questions or prompts I can make without paying.
No, listen. On the mobile, it does not give you the option to add the timestamp part of it.
Okay.
But
that'd
I
be
can show
something
you
if
how to
you
do it
wanted to do it.
manually.
Yeah.
I can show you how
Or
to do
if
it
you want, that
manually.
could be something you could do on your PC even,
Well,
Brian.
you could email me a link and then I can just send it. I'll put it in the comments.
Okay.
What do you know roughly when we started talking about him?
I'll just see. I'll have a look.
It was
when you post
about
it.
a half hour ago.
Yeah. When you post it, I'll just mention it's about a half hour in. You can look. You can figure it out. It's up to him.
Or maybe you should say the last half hour.
Yeah. Okay. Last half hour. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Good enough. If he's interested, he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
let me once we get the video up, let me get you a direct point so you can sit there and kind of time it down, as to a timestamp.
Don't worry about
look at.
It'll be good enough. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
I kind of need to use the washroom too, so we should probably cut this over.
All right.
All right,
I gotta
guys.
get
See you
me
next
some more
week.
coffee. All right. Have a good one, guys.
Take it
It's
easy.
been a very interesting